Ever since Georgian fashion designer Demna became the artistic director of the European fashion household Balenciaga in 2015, the once lauded brand has become far more infamous for its controversy than clothing. But the surprising thing to discover is how often that's been by design. Like that time they remade IKEA's 99-cent shopping bag as a $2,000 luxury good, or when they put heels on Crocs, or totally destroyed sneakers for just under $2,000. I mean, hell, they even dressed one of the sexiest women on the planet in head-to-toe black body stocking and then sent her up a flight of stairs to the Met Gala. Ah, poor Kimberly. But something does tell me we probably should have started paying closer attention when Balenciaga created a campaign that would see models walking up and down the runway while carrying garbage bags made out of expensive leather. In almost every single one of these moments, Balenciaga was counting on the outrage to fuel their brand. But now they've finally gone too far after releasing 2 new campaigns that have taken public outcry to levels that they have never dreamed of reaching. It all started in the middle of November when Balenciaga published a campaign called, innocently enough, Balenciaga Gift Shop. But the name is where all forms of innocence came to a stop. The campaign was shot by Italian documentary photographer Gabriele Galimberti, a man who has never worked in fashion before but had shot a celebrated collection of images featuring children known as Toy Stories. Galimberti would later reveal to Insider that Balenciaga took inspiration from that collection for their new spread, stating, "They basically told me, Demna found out your book and loved your style, and we want to work with you." The only difference, Balenciaga did want this shoot to be more punk. Well, be careful what you wish for, because when the new images hit the web on November 16th featuring 6 children clutching destroyed teddy bear handbags with fishnet tops, spiked dog collars, and leather harnesses, people lost their minds online. And a groundswell of outrage argued that the images juxtaposed children with what looked like bondage paraphernalia. Less than a week later, rather than apologize for something that clearly upset a lot of people, the fashion house doubled down on their heat when they dropped a new campaign. This one featuring paperwork from a Supreme Court decision on child endangerment laws as a prop. This second campaign even boasted big-time stars like Nicole Kidman, Isabel Huppert, and Bella Hadid as models working in an office space settling while showing off $3,000 handbags on a desk next to printed copies of the Supreme Court's 2008 decision in the case of US versus Williams, which examined whether laws banning the promotion of lewd images featuring children fell under the First Amendment. And that's not all. Other props in that exact same campaign included a book, As Sweet as It Gets, by Belgian painter Michael Bormans, whose work has been described in the past by art galleries as toddlers engaged in playful and mysterious acts with sinister overtones and insinuations of violence. Once online users began to put the pieces together between the 2 campaigns, they took to social media to warn others about what they had uncovered. These tweets are what led to the widespread claim that Balenciaga was promoting a dangerous campaign involving very young children by glamorizing both sexuality and violence in a situation where obviously neither should be present. As online criticism spread like wildfire, the story was picked up and ran with by right-leaning media outlets like Fox News on their series Tucker Carlson Tonight, as well as the New York Post.
Whoever staged the photo shoot made certain to include a portion of that opinion that used the word sex or sexual 4 times. And of course that was not an accident. Balenciaga wanted you to notice.
How would Balenciaga respond to all these troubling accusations? The brand's initial response to the backlash suddenly at their doorstep came on November 24th when they issued an apology for their initial gift shop campaign and promised to remove the advertisements from its many social media channels. Hours later, the fashion house would issue a second apology, this one for the second campaign known as Guard Robe. In this second case, the brand promised to take the matter seriously by initiating legal action against the parties they claimed were responsible for creating the controversial set, including what they called unapproved items for the shoot. They ended the apology by firmly stating, "We strongly condemn abuse of children in any form. We stand for children's safety and well-being." Probably not something you ever thought you'd have to hear a fashion outlet state out loud. And yet, here we are. On November 25th, Balenciaga filed paperwork in New York that got the ball rolling on a $25 million lawsuit against the production company North Six and Nicholas Desjardins, who designed the sets of the Guard Robe campaign. That document would allege that the production company and set designer undertook inexplicable acts and omissions that were malevolent or at the very least, extraordinarily reckless. But that's just a fancy way of saying Balenciaga was looking to pass the blame around by claiming that they were unaware of what was going on. According to a lawyer who represents Mr. Desjardins, the controversial documents in question came from numerous boxes which were rented out from a prop house, which were supposed to be fake office documents. It just turns out that they weren't so fake after all. Convenient. Desjardins' lawyer would further state that while there was certainly no malevolent scheme going on, Balenciaga representatives were on the set of the shoot constantly, handling both the papers and the other props. And more damning than anything else. At the end of the day, the image selection was ultimately chosen by the brand, which led to Balenciaga finally taking full accountability for what happened with yet another apology, this one released at the end of November. Part of Balenciaga's statement read, "Our plush bear bags and gift collection should not have been featured with children. This was a wrong choice by Balenciaga, combined by our failure in assessing and validating images. The responsibility for this lies with Balenciaga alone." Unfortunately, not everyone online appears to have gotten the memo, and ever since the gift shop campaign images were released, the photographer who took them has been getting swarmed with hate mail and death threats, while also having his gigs canceled and seen his personal details published online. Speaking with the New York Times, Mr. Gallimberti told them, "I've been working on my personal projects for 25 years, and then everything is destroyed by this campaign. I'm not sleeping well. My family's completely worried." The long-term ramifications for all of this are still working themselves out. For now, the trade publication known as Business of Fashion has revoked an award that it previously had planned on giving to Demna. Meanwhile, over in the United States, where the outrage seems to be the loudest, Balenciaga might very well have permanently tarnished all their brands. Considering that fact, it's probably not all that surprising to learn that celebrities who have worked with the fashion house in the past are also drawing the ire of many on social media, including the likes of Kim Kardashian and her ex-husband Ye, both of whom have had a long-standing relationship with Demna and Balenciaga. Ironically enough, Balenciaga had just ended its professional relationship with Ye days before their controversial campaign launched, after his anti-Semitic comments were made during Paris Fashion Week, which meant it was only fair game for Ye to take shots at them when asked about what was happening by the paparazzi.
They tried to destroy me in press. They tried to destroy all of my businesses at the same time, and the world saw it, and no one's saying anything. You know, as far as like none of the celebrities, so this just shows you all celebrities are controlled. You don't see no celebrities talking about the Balenciaga situation.
Of course, I'm keeping with the roller coaster that is his life. Ye later stated on Twitter that he stands behind the fashion house while decrying witch hunts and cancel culture as a whole. As for Kim, she promised that she would be reevaluating her relationship with Balenciaga at the end of November, after being criticized for not saying anything about the controversy sooner. The latest development in this story is that as of December 2nd, 2022, Balenciaga has decided to no longer take legal action against anyone as a result of this controversy. Instead, they've decided to take the necessary steps to remedy what happened by announcing internal and external investigations and instilling new controls that will ensure something like this can never take place again. The two men at the top of Balenciaga, Demna and its chief executive Cedric Charbit, would also issue separate statements of apology and taking responsibility, including steps that they would take to reorganize the brand's image department, while also announcing a listening tour to engage with advocacy groups whose mission is to protect children. Now, will all of that be good enough for social media to finally move past the outrage, or is it only a matter of time before Balenciaga puts their foot in their mouth all over again? You're gonna have to wait and see. So thank you everybody for watching today's episode, and before you head out, why don't you consider the following question. Is there anything Balenciaga can do to repair their image, or is this the end of the fashion house as we know it? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Otherwise, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications to make sure that you never miss a new episode. And if you want to check out a similar story involving a well-known celebrity's fall from grace, then be sure to check out for our recent looks into other controversies embroiling Ye, Andy Dick, and James Corden. My name's Clyde Smith, and I'll see you guys in another video.